Welcome to Pwned, your backstage access to everything EA.
Here's what's coming up on the show.
I delve into some Crysis 2 multiplayer action.
R&B group Encore join us here in the studio.
Our Pwned computer interrogates one poor soul from DICE.
And Matt bends his brain in the world of Portal 2.
But first, here's a look at the trailer for The Sims 3, out now for the 3DS.
Create in 3D. Build in 3D. Woohoo! In 3D. Everything you love and more in 3D. Take a picture of yourself. Actually, take a picture of someone hotter. Then make them as pretty as a movie star. Or beat them with the ugly stick.
New downloadable content is available now for Dragon Age 2. The Exiled Prince allows you to fight alongside an archer called Sebastian Viel, who seeks revenge for the brutal murder of his family. You can also gain his friendship by helping him out on a series of side missions.
Arcade shooter Gatling Gears has been announced for Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 and PC. This twin shooter lets you unleash some serious firepower as new hero Max Brawley in a steampunk setting. You can download the game from this spring.
Now for all you gamers who enjoy fragging your friends online, I know you do, Matt.
I do, yeah.
Crysis 2 has some new multiplayer tricks, but because you're all playing it in your own unique way, it does pose some challenges for the team who make it.
I popped to Nottingham to ask Hasit Zata, executive producer at Crytek, just what those challenges are. So Hasit, how do you come up with a concept of an original multiplayer?
It was all about really kind of imparting our DNA in terms of making multiplayer, and just bringing that and updating that to the whole Crysis 2 experience.
You've got quite a lot of new things to play with in Crysis 2. You've got the nano suit, you can slide on the ground, you've got loads of augmentation for the weapons. How does that affect the way people play the game and ultimately how you design the game?
Right from the outset, we knew we had a nano suit, and it was the nano suit which, and its abilities were the real kind of game changer. We were going to have to make our levels in a different way. We knew you were going to be able to jump sort of like superhuman distances. We knew you were going to be able to sprint, but as the game kind of evolved, we started to kind of introduce these more interesting kind of fluid movements. You might see some stairs, but you won't necessarily go for that because you'll kind of sort of like power jump and you'll ledge grab over, and you'll find there's a real fluidity to the kind of movement that's very different from other multiplayers.
So the nano suit makes you invisible, but is it complete invisibility?
It's not complete invisibility. You can, if you've got a sharp eye, you can kind of see the shimmer and the edges. You can use your nano vision, which can kind of pull out the cloaked people.
So you've almost got a rock, paper, scissor thing going on there. If someone's got a power, there's always some way to counter it.
Actually, that was one of our mantras, was that if you have a power, what was the counter? And how could you equip yourself against that?
So how do you take a new concept like the nano suit and put it in a situation that gamers feel comfortable with?
I mean, I think there are rules and there are kind of mechanics that people expect from their multiplayer. So, you know, you're going to want to have your capture the flag. You're going to want those game modes. You want your team deathmatch, and they're things that people know and expect. And then they'll really kind of latch on to the nanosuit and the differences that has to really kind of change the way they play.
Do you also have a good relationship with the guys in Frankfurt making the single player mode?
Yeah, actually that's really important. We could actually start to really draw on each other's kind of innovations. So an example is the slide that you've mentioned. Single player put it in and went, wow, that's a pretty cool feature. We really like that. It'll really make a difference to multiplayer. But then we were playing around it and went, actually, wouldn't it be cool to be able to shoot whilst you're kind of sliding? And so we added that, and they went, wow, that's really cool. We've got these long ramps in our single player, and you were able to shoot whilst you're sliding. And so you actually sometimes draw on the creativity of both design groups really hitting the game.
The game's out now, but I guess your work isn't done, is it?
Yeah, I kind of wish it was, but unfortunately it's not. No, when people start playing it, that's where we start to kind of see all the graphs, see, you know, how the kills are being made, how people are ranking up, and so on and so forth. But the key thing is that we look out for any kind of little spikes. Are people finding any exploits? Is there something, you know, we hadn't caught, so that everyone has a really smooth playing experience?
Have you got any hints and tips for someone just starting on Crysis 2 on the multiplayer to get an edge over their opponent?
Try to be a jack of all trades. Play around with everything, because you'll actually level up on the lower levels of everything. So don't just stick to being stealthy, don't just stick to being armoured up. Try and play with everything. And another good point is to have a look at your skill assessment. There's over 200 skill assessments in the game, and you actually get really significant XP bonuses for achieving those.
So there you go, some tips on Crysis 2 from the guys that made the game. Happy killing.
Joining us in the studio is Pierre, Cairo and Mark from Encore. Hi guys! Thanks for joining joining us on the show, guys. Now, I was going to call you an R&B band, but actually, you're a bit of a fusion of sounds, aren't you?
Well, we like to fuse a lot of sounds into our music, like dubstep, R&B, pop, even grime. We like to call it an encore sound.
Awesome, your own original sound. I like it very much.
Exactly.
So things are really starting to take off for you guys. What's coming up for you?
We've got
a tour coming up.
We've got a tour. The next couple of days, we're going to go on the Jesse tour. That's going to take us up to around sort of like the mid-April. Then the next day, we're going on the N-Dubs tour. That's for the rest of the April. So April sort of like
So we're very
blocked out.
busy.
Wow, are you excited?
Oh yeah, definitely.
very much
yeah,
so.
I can't wait.
And with all this trekking up and down the country, do you manage to squeeze in some time to play on a few games?
In our tour bus, in our like, tour car.
It will be a bus soon, I'm sure.
In the tiny little headrest we've got, we've got little TV screens. So I mean, we're trying to hook up like PlayStation or Xbox.
Are you into the multiplayer games?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
Yeah,
I like
competition, man. It's just all
Yeah,
about
the
it.
first-person shooting maps and everything. But you know what I really want to get these guys at is FIFA. So
Is there a bit of competition there? Who do you all
definitely
support?
Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Oh,
All of us
Arsenal.
support Arsenal.
Arsenal.
All right, so you've got a bit of an Arsenal on Arsenal match.
That's the problem.
yeah.
Now, talking of games, we've got a little game for you right now. Bear with us.
Ooh.
It's a little bit of a tenuous link, but you basically had a single out called Pretender, didn't you?
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so we got our Pwn viewers to send us in a list of game names, and you've got to guess which ones are real and which ones are pretenders. See what we did there?
I like the link.
Okay.
Okay, but you've got to get at least 5 right, because then we'll play your video, the one at the end of the show. So, your game?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, let's crack on. Princess Tomato in Salad Kingdom, real or fake?
Princess Tomato
Fake.
in Salad Kingdom.
Yeah.
I don't think Salad Kingdom's real. No.
Yeah.
Guys, it's real! It was out on the NES in 1990.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, from current. Okay.
Oh no, some of
okay,
these are
cool.
old school, they're going to take you back. Okay, this next one. Wild Woody.
It sounds kind of like a Toy Story. Like,
Toy Story-ish. So
Let's go with it. I think
Go with
it
it.
sounds real.
You going with real?
Yeah.
You're right, it is real. It was out on the Sega CD in 95.
CD.
Yeah.
Yes.
old school, man.
Old school. Sheep Combiner 2000.
That rings a bell.
Does it?
Yeah. But I don't want to say it's real. because it
Bell,
might be
cowbell,
fake. I don't know.
Come on, we need an answer,
sheep
guys.
dog. Yeah, we go for real.
No, it's completely made up.
Ah!
Right, come on, this next one. Sticky Balls.
Right.
God.
Please, can that be fake? I've got to say fake because that's not fair if it is
sounds a
real.
bit
Yeah.
bizarre.
Have you guys heard of the Gizmondo?
Oh yes.
And it was out in 2005, so it is a real game. Okay, Dynasty of Pam.
Real.
Real.
False. Okay, Booby Kids.
Let's go for it. Let's go for it.
I'll go for real actually because you've had 2. Yeah, I'm going
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
real in 1987 on the NES. Well done, guys.
97. Wow.
Potato Warrior Showdown.
Nah, that's a fake.
Yeah, you're right, it is fake.
It's fake.
Well done. Come on, guys, we're getting there now. Super Meat Boy, real or fake?
Super Meat Boy's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
Seem
real.
confident.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is real. It's out on the Xbox Live Arcade and PC. Tongue of the Fat Man.
Fake.
Oh,
Real.
Real.
Fake.
real?
Real.
I'll just judge it by
Real.
reaction.
Real.
Come on, yeah, it is real. It was out in
Yeah.
92 for the PC. And finally, Kirby's Hamster Hutch.
Fake.
Fake.
It is fake. Well, guys, I'm pleased to say you got 6 right. So, very, very good. That means we will be playing your new single, the one at the end of the show. So thanks so much for coming on, guys, and the best of luck with everything.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Right, now it's time for our Pwn computer to get her sticky keys on DICE Community Manager, Daniel Matros.
Identify yourself.
My name is Daniel Matros. I'm the community manager at DICE.
What time do you get up for work?
Wow, it depends on how much I game during the night, so I would say at 8 o'clock in the mornings.
Which game would you like to see made into a movie?
I would like to see Gears of War being made into a movie because it has a gritty story, cool characters, and awesome weapons.
Have you ever had any gaming accidents?
I had an accident back in June this year when I raged a lot at BC2, so I threw my controller straight into the window and it broke.
Do you find it cold in Stockholm?
Yeah, it's freezing. We have the second ice age over here.
I could warm you up.
You could? Come over to my place.
Well, from one slightly unhinged female computer to another, Portal 2 is on its way, and of course, it has a brand new storyline.
I got to talk with writer Chet Faliszek about the evolution of this highly awaited sequel. So Chet, welcome to PWNED. So when you're making a game that pretty much has a puzzle mechanic throughout it, which comes first, the concept of the game design or the story itself?
Actually, they're formed together. As writers, we actually sit in with the level designers and everybody else, and it's a real back and forth that happens for the creation of the maps and the story.
Not a problem. There's a password. It's fine. I'll just hack it. Not a problem. Okay. A. That's I thought that was going to be it. I'm surprised.
So Wheatley wakes you up and takes you through Aperture Science, and then accidentally wakes up GLaDOS again. Stephen Merchant does the voiceover for that. Did you have him in mind when you wrote the part?
Jay and Eric had really been into some British comedies at that time and really had Stephen Merchant in our heads. And we asked him if he wanted to be in it, and he offered to be in it. All through the whole process, he was really dedicated and vested into really understanding that character and pulling it through.
From playing the game, the main thing I noticed is it is laugh out loud funny. How do you go about getting the humour in the game just right?
So a lot of that's about timing and writing, and so one of it is we overwrite. There's a ton more we write that we just end up throwing out. Really play testing it with new people, because comedy is really often about hearing it for the first time and getting their feedback on it and then reworking it and working on the timing, working on the pacing.
So in terms of writing the story, it is slightly different, because instead of just hearing the voice of GLaDOS, we have got the voice of GLaDOS, we've got the other computerized voice that you hear near the start of the game, and Wheatley as well. How does that dynamic work with the three characters?
We actually have even more characters. And part of that is just with a longer game, you get fatigue in many different ways if you just stretched out the same thing over and over again. So we mix you up in the puzzles, we mix you up in the locations you're gonna go in all different new kind of places, and we mix up with the characters so that you're hearing different character voices. So, GLaDOS has this very kind of structured, long way she speaks, and Wheatley's just talking off the top of his head. Whatever he sees, he's gonna talk about and mention, right, and go with.
Okay, all right, so I've got an idea, but it is bloody dangerous.
It does feel like you're on more of a journey this time instead of in lots of separate test chambers. Was that something you guys felt you needed to do for this sequel?
In the first one, you didn't even know a story was going to happen until like a third of the way in, and then you started realizing what was happening. Players already know that we can't just repeat that. And so with that, you'll see the very beginning with Wheatley and the breaking out of the chamber and getting you into starting the maps. You kind of have this experience where you're not really doing tests, you're just having this experience. And you'll actually have a lot of those moments in Portal 2 compared to Portal, which always was just GLaDOS test.
Now moving on to co-op mode, you've got two bots that are working together. How do you go about writing a story where they're not speaking, that it's just a load of bleeps and bloops?
I mean, considering Chell doesn't say anything, bleeps and bloops are a step up.
That's
They
true,
made it a lot
yeah.
easier. No, so when you're doing anything co-op like that, we learned this in Left 4 Dead, you're always competing against another story, and that story is the two people playing. And they're having a story of their experience. And so you want to kind of take a step back in the story and give space for their story to breathe.
So Chet, this being a Portal 2 interview, I'm afraid you can't leave this room until you solve this. Good luck.
Here you go. See you later.
Actually, there is one other puzzle he can solve for me. Did you ask him why you were there? What's happened to Half-Life 2 Episode 3?
Well, I did, but actually, just take a look. Half-Life Episode 3, what's going on with that? Is it ever going to rear its head?
Really?
Really? I would like to know, because I've never... do you know what? I haven't read up about it. I don't know.
You should then. There's been a lot talked about.
Oh, has there? Because Episode 2 landed on a cliffhanger. I mean, what's the deal with that? Is it going to happen?
I mean, someday.
I hope it comes out. I really do.
Looks like he gets asked that question a lot, Matt.
You're telling me. Right, that's it for another show. Don't forget, you can subscribe to us by clicking on the box somewhere around here.
And thank you guys for getting involved with the show. Remember, we want to hear from you, don't we?
We do, yeah.
So all you need to do is email us at pwned@ea.com.
You can, of course, also follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/electronic arts.
Or you can use something called Facebook, whatever that is, at facebook.com/electronic arts UK.
We'll leave you with the aptly named Encore and a clip of their new video, The One. We'll see you next month.
I used to be the one you turn to. Now I'm just the one who hurt you. I don't wanna go through life knowing that I made you cry. That would be suicide.
I could pretend I'm sorry, but I'll probably do it again. Have you mad frustrated?
I took you from school in the Zens to me paying all of your rent. I hope you receive this like